Hi, I'm Michael Parks with Agency Arms. I'm one of the owners, and you're watching RedWolf TV.
Hey guys, Tim here of RedWolf TV. Have you ever wanted a modern looking sniper rifle? No, scratch that, let me rephrase. Have you ever wanted a bullpup version of a modern looking sniper rifle? Well, that is exactly what I have in front of me. Today I'm going to review the Silverback Stealth Recon Scout A1 spring bolt action sniper rifle, fully licensed by Desert Tech. You're probably wondering why only one of them's fully set up and the rest are on their bits and bobs. This is because Silverback sent them to us in samples just to let you know of what they're releasing. We have the OD version here, the black version and the tan version with 3 different outer barrel lengths. We have the 16-inch outer barrel version which comes with a 5.5-inch handguard, about the same outer barrel length as the Tokyo Marui VSR-10. There's the 22-inch outer barrel version which comes with a 12-inch handguard, around the same length as the SOCOM Gear Barrett, and then finally there is the 26-inch outer barrel version with a 12-inch handguard, a little shorter than the SOCOM Gear Intervention. The good thing about it being a bullpup is the fact that they are all about a foot shorter than the other sniper rifles I just mentioned. Desert Tech is an American company formed back in 2007, and their firearms were used by law enforcement and the military, but they're rather new in comparison to FN Herschel, Glock and, say, Smith & Wesson, so you might not have heard of them. But where have we seen the sniper rifle before? If you're a big fan of action-packed movies, you would have definitely seen the SRS in John Wick and SWAT Firefight. When it comes to television series, Burn Notice, Person of Interest, and computer games, Ghost Recon Online. So it's not very common or popular, but it's still very cool looking. As I've mentioned previously, the SRS is fully licensed by Desert Tech, so you can expect all the correct markings on the left and right side. The lower, cheek rest, and the stock is made out of a high quality polymer, whilst everything else is made out of metal. Internally, it is a spring bolt action sniper rifle, but the function is rather peculiar. More on that later. It uses a 6.05mm tight bore inner barrel, but each outer barrel length will come with a different inner barrel length. Obviously, the 26-inch version comes with a 680mm inner barrel, the 22-inch 578mm inner barrel, and the covert shorter version comes with a 480mm inner barrel. So that means that each outer barrel length may vary when it comes to FPS and accuracy. It also uses an adjustable standard AEG hop-up bucking, but instead of the conventional flat or the 2 teeth that lower at the same time, you could actually adjust it individually. This is what I mean. If you look at this outer barrel, instead of finding 1 hole, you find 2. And once you insert it into the receiver, you can adjust it by using a hex key, inserting it into these holes right behind the top rail. So, as I mentioned, you can adjust it individually. If one BB is flying over to the left, then you lower the right side. If a BB is flying to the right, you lower the left side. It may look like a vampire in need of a dentist, but for some reason the BB flies absolutely straight. This is a seriously innovative design that is either brilliant, like a eureka moment, or something really stupid, like going to the beach in your swimwear during the winter. But I guess people from the north are kind of used to that. Anyway, let's continue. Now for the bits and bobs. The 26-inch version comes with a 3-chamber muzzle brake, the 22-inch a 1-chamber muzzle brake, and the covert just a thread cover revealing a 14mm CCW thread. So how does it feel once you hold it? It's not very heavy. The grip is rather large but very ergonomic and comfortable to hold. And since it is a bullpup, the action and the magazine is held behind the trigger. The mag release is ambidextrous, just above the magazine on the left side and further back on the right. But it's so well made, it can be rather difficult to remove. The mag, 30 rounds, made out of plastic, encased in metal. Very good quality. You can also rest the cheek razor by loosening these 2 screws on the left side. And you can also remove these 2 panels at the back. It's very user friendly. There's a QD sling point on the left and right side of the stock, and a monopod underneath which you could release by pulling it out to 19 different slots. The fire selector is right above the trigger. F to fire, S for safety. Now, the long version and the mid-length version come with a handguard with a rail underneath for all your bipods, but the shorter version, the covert, does not come with a rail underneath. because you don't need one. It is that short. You'll see it in a bit. So, for the unusual bit, the bolt. First, let me remove the magazine. Now, on the usual spring bolt action sniper rifle, you would lift and the tension would be to pull it back. But in this case, it's very easy to pull back. Pull it back till it clicks. And the tension is actually pushing it forward, which feels so strange. I'm using muscles I never thought I would need to use. It's rather stiff as well. And it's very difficult to find that wall in the trigger. You pull it back about ½ a centimeter before it shoots. I wonder what it'll chrono. Now, Silverback have released a video where you can remove the handguard and outer barrel and fit one of a different length. And if you haven't seen that video, well, you're in luck because I was planning on doing that anyway. So let me make some space. First of all, set it to fire mode and remove the magazine. Lower the stock and remove it. Pull the trigger, lift the bolt, and pull it back, completely removing it. Use a hex key to loosen these 4 screws. Turn it around and you'll notice this screw right here. Turn it counterclockwise to unlock, and that will allow you to remove the outer barrel. Now for the handguard. Notice this screw on top. Use a hex key to remove it. There is another piece underneath that needs to be removed as well. That little piece there. And then unscrew the handguard. Now we're going to turn this into the covert option. Here's the shorter handguard. Notice this groove at the back. That is the back of the handguard. So screw it on. Add that metal piece. And then screw it on. Now for the outer barrel. Notice the 2 holes on top. That should be facing up. Insert that. And it should slot into position. Use a hex key to lock it on both sides. Now for the bolt. Pull the trigger, insert it, and there you go. Apply the stock, and there we have it. The covert version of the SRS. That's about it, folks. Let's take this to the range and chrono the thing. We are now at X mission at the 30-meter range, and first of all we're going to chrono the gun or all 3 lengths and then do the accuracy test of all 3 lengths. This is going to be fun. For the chrono test we're using 0.2 gram 6mm BBs. The covert version clocked in at just over 400 FPS. The 22-inch version clocked at around 410, and the 26-inch version clocked in at just under 420 FPS. Yeah. For the accuracy test, I'll be using 0.4 gram BBs instead. Now let's have a look at the results. This is the target sheet for the covert version. It is about 2 inches in diameter, 2 of them sitting next to each other and 3 of them dispersed around the center. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hit center mass. This is the 22-inch version. They were much closer to the target, 2 of them right next to each other, 1 just above, 1 just to the right, about 1 inch in diameter except with 1 deviation. The 26-inch option, very similar to the second one. It's very close to each other, about 1 inch apart with 1 deviation below. There's hardly any difference between the second and the third version. Ha! Knocked it off. One thing I've noticed is that when you reload, you're really going to have to slap it in. Or else when you do pull the bolt back, the BB won't chamber. I've also lubricated the bolt so it is much easier to push forward. Also, this has potential to loosen really easily. It just falls off like that. So I wish they could actually find a way to make that a little bit tighter. Also, once you do release the magazine, there are a few BBs left inside the loading tube. So if you are done at the end of a day, just pull the bolt back, stick an Allen key in there, and remove the BBs carefully. Also, I wish there was a dial here, like you would find on the KJ Works 1022, so you could easily adjust the hop-up on the go, instead of having to take an Allen key, stick it in there, adjust it, then put it away whilst you're in game. It doesn't seem realistic in that manner, but I thought it would prove rather useful. So for this one sniper rifle, you get 3 different colors in 3 different lengths. The covert option is something that you would probably use in Hong Kong, where you don't get much range, as it's kind of useless getting the 22 and 26 inch version. Though this version and the 22 inch version is something that you'd probably use in the US, UK, Russia, anything outside of Hong Kong basically, as the range on this could be amazing and the accuracy is astounding. I'm loving that hop-up adjustment. You just see the BB flying a little bit to the left, you adjust it slightly, and you would hit your target the next time round. This thing is pretty cool and I love that hop-up unit. So for this cool product and many more, go to our website at www.redwolfairsoft.com and see you guys on the next episode of RedWolf TV. If you'd like to know more about X Mission, click on the link in the description below. Pornstash out. G&G really stepped up their game when it comes to the MG42. To know what it's like, click on this video. The RWA KG9 will bring back lots of memories from old school airsofters, and this one can shoot up to 70 meters. You don't believe me? There's the proof. Can the gold match live up to expectations in comparison to the Tokyo Marui 5.1 High Kappa? It did better than most expected, so click on this video and you'll see what I mean.